you build each other up.
Yeah.
It's priceless.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find, if you, I think someone said, if you find one good friend in this world, don't ever lose them
Yeah.
because you may not never find another.
Yeah. That's real. That's real.
And it's very important. I think I forgot who said this, but um, the saying is, a friend is a person and you can take your chaff and your wheat and give it to your friend, and with a gentle breath of kindness, he'll blow away the chaff
Mm.
and gather the wheat into his heart.
Wow. Wow.
And that's friendship.
Wow.
To love you in spite of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh,
Mm.
love you. I don't care what you're going through, what you look like. I love you
Mm-hmm.
in spite of, and having that community is important.
Yeah. So you're saying that again, I just want to make sure that people are following
Mm-hmm.
that community is one of the resources or
Oh yeah.
tools that we can use if we're trying to work our way
I
towards
think
forgiveness.
I could say I personally I think it is the main thing.
Mm. Okay. Just at least, and when we say community, it doesn't mean a group of people. Sometimes that community is one person,
One
like you're
person,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's you can't get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have it in
Mm-hmm.
order to really, because you cannot get to your future or your success or destiny without people.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I mean, I know some people abuse people, they step on people, they don't care about nobody but themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They climb the corporate ladder,
Mm-hmm.
but in order for them to climb the corporate ladder, they
Or
got to step
whatever
on
ladder.
somebody. Yeah,
Yeah, or whatever ladder. It doesn't
yeah,
have
you
to be
need somebody.
corporate. Yeah. Yeah.
So nobody's exempt. You need people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so if a man is carrying that pain and wound in their heart, community helps them to deal with that.
That's right. That's right. And, and granted, we're talking about just people or somebody that wants to work towards forgiveness.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put the cart before the horse because some people don't want to forgive their fathers,
Yeah.
right? Some people don't want to forgive the person that hurt them and hurt their families because they feel that forgiveness would be too good for their
Yeah.
father, right? So, what can you say to people who may not want to forgive and who may be living a good life, who may be successful, may have a loving family, they may be doing fine financially, and so they may not see the need to forgive their father who may have treated them wrong or did whatever it is that their father did to them. What do you say to that guy that doesn't feel like he
It's
needs to?
hard. I just all I can say is life has a way of teaching you that
Mm.
even when you don't want to forgive, you're gonna know what it is in this life to be forgiven or wanting to be forgiven. Or
Oh,
if I'm saying that right.
yeah. To you're gonna know what it's like to need forgiveness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Life has a way. Life has a way of a full circle, and you're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah. Wow.
Because God never intended for us to be unforgiving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
I don't by no means encourage a person. I know the situations that are bad. I understand that.
Yeah.
But you have to get to a point where you have to let that go to a degree of forgiving,
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to need forgiveness one day.
Wow.
You are going to need forgiveness one day.
Yeah. And it's like I'm glad you are able to say that because like you've lived life,
Yeah.
and you're still obviously you're still living. It's not
Yeah.
it's not like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
done. Right. It's not like you're done. You still got plenty of life to live. But like I think you saying that is different than if I would have said that because you've seen things like
Yeah.
you have experience in that, and so like I'm glad you said that. I just want to make sure that like we cover as wide of the spectrum as possible as it
When,
pertains
when
to
did you
forgiveness.
when did you realize that you need a community as far as men is concerned? I mean, after you left to go to college,
Mhm.
when did you realize that you needed more than just what your father and mother instilled into you? When did you?
Ooh, wasn't expecting that question.
Well, of course. You mean giving me questions?
That's a good question. I think uh once we moved back home from Atlanta, and I felt like I was starting life over again.
Yeah.
And um I think that there came a point where I realized, and it took me some time to get there, but um once Easy was born, my second
Mhm.
oldest, once he was born, I realized I have two boys. I didn't know how to raise two boys.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to help them to be brothers to each other.
Yeah.
Had I just had
It's like you never had a brother.
I never had a
Yeah.
brother, right? So had
Yeah.
I just had a son and a daughter, I probably would have been fine. Like I
Mhm.
probably would have, to an extent, not really felt like I needed to find a community.
Yeah.
And so like it wasn't until I had them two where I was like, I looked at you, and this isn't any fault of
Mhm.
yours, but like, and I remember you saying to me at some point you wish that you and your brothers were a little bit tighter. Y'all
Yeah.
are just not getting to the point to where you feel like a part of the family,
Yeah.
and that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But I was like, my dad may not even be able to teach me how to teach my sons how to be brothers to one
Mhm.
another,
Yeah,
right?
because of my background.
Because of your
Yeah.
background. So for me, I had to make a choice, and was like, I don't want my boys to be inhibited from loving each other, being brothers to one
Mhm.
another, through the good, through the bad, showing up for each other, fighting, making up, forgiving each other, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I can show them how to treat their sister,
Yeah.
but I didn't know how to do that with another
That's a
with
very
another man.
interesting observation. Yeah, I just never thought you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like it was at that point where I was like, I kind of need some other guys that
Mm.
I can be transparent with and learn from,
Yeah.
because there was, you know, as you go through life and you mature, you start to understand that your fathers are human.
Yeah.
And I understood that with you.
Mhm.
And there were just certain things that, like, because of your own experience and things that you dealt with, you can't teach me everything,
Right.
and my boys are gonna see that with me at some point.
Yeah, and I have to say you're doing a great job at
Appreciate that, Dad. Appreciate
it.
that.
And when Trip went off to, uh, I think we went to the family thing,
Hmm.
and Easy didn't go. He stayed.
Yeah.
But I never forgot the expression on their face when Trip came to the house, came back, and he walked through the door, and Easy's face just
Just
lit
lit up.
up,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so did Trip,
Hmm.
and they hugged each other. I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
and they be at each other almost every
They
day,
be at
but
each
they
other's
love
throats.
each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's the thing, like, me being in the community that I found was my fraternity,
okay,
right? That was something that really, really helped me. And when I thought about it, like even some of my closest friends growing up, they were either uh single, they were like, some of my guy friends were single child,
hmm
or they didn't grow up in a household with their other brothers, or they had a sister.
yeah,
So like, even though they were my close friends, we weren't brothers. We
yeah,
didn't grow up in that
gotcha.
same household. So it wasn't until I got into my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the greatest fraternity, the oldest, the coldest, and the boldest.
Yeah,
Just want people to know that.
there were some folks that you going that okay.
Well, hey, that's a conversation for another day. Conversation for another day.
I'm yeah, we'll deal with that later.
Conversation for another
Yeah.
day, because I got feelings on that too.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I got into the fraternity to where,
Mhm.
like, I was able to be around guys, and I had to deal with how to speak to another grown man
Yeah.
that I had conflict with, who I had to call my brother,
Mhm.
and figure out how to navigate that, and how to
Yeah.
apologize, and
Yeah.
how to forgive, and all of that stuff. And so that taught me how to raise my boys.